Okay, my name is SamarHejazi. I am a conceptual artist, a mixed media artist, an installation artist. I was part of the group of artists that moved from Lansdowne to King in May.
You're kind of in a unique situation because this is the first stop of two on your way to being moved even somewhere else even.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about sort of that journey a little bit? So what's MOCA?
So MOCA is the Museum of Contemporary Art. They just opened, or they're just opening on the 20th of September. Jess is my studio mate, we were supposed to move in there in May, but there were delays, and so it got pushed to now. But we didn't know that. We thought it was being pushed a month or like 2 months, so we got this spot temporarily, and we split it, and it's not as big as what we're used to, but yeah, no one's complaining. It's a nice bonding experience. But anyway, so now we're moving again next week, and that studio will be mine for a year because it's a studio residence.
Are there any drawbacks to being here, or do you feel like you've lost something through that move or through that displacement?
No, I think it was. I mean, all change is good. It depends on how you take it or how you react to it.
Right.
It's really scary here at 2 a.m. though.
Yeah, can you talk about that?
It's like being, in the other areas that we've been in. And the assumption is usually that it would be scarier where we were, or what we're used to, but it's not. There's a lot of harassment that happens here for women, even during the day, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So for me, there isn't that sense of security or freedom in staying here later, whatever.
Right.
Whereas before, I didn't have that fear.
Yeah.
I mean, even getting to your bicycle, which is like 2 meters from the door, there's a chance something will happen.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, things are good.
Maybe talk about it in the context of facing another kind of
it's like
another
calm
step,
Yeah, it's like the calm before another. So that's not a storm. That's before. That's less than a storm. It's like this is a storm,
right?
So I have to settle, and then I don't know how to feel about things, basically, recently. I'm just kind of I'll come in and look around and be like, do I, what's garbage here? What, do I pack? Because I never really unpacked,
because you couldn't really settle in, right?
And then, it brings up the question of, well, then what do I actually need for my practice? And maybe I've had too many things.
Do you feel like you have a good sense of control over what's happening, or?
Oh, no.
Right.
I don't. But I'm kind of in this place where I'm like, maybe the idea of, stability and, long-term is an illusion. You always make a plan with the assumption that it's going to be long-term, but it's just an illusion. You've just convinced yourself of the story for now until something else happens and that changes. And so I'm trying to not see this move as, another move and then I'm going to move again. It's more like, well, I'm moving now and then, I'm going to move again, but you don't have to think about that.
Right.
Just a little frustrating, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It would be nice to know, I mean, you create a creative space. Creative space is a very, some might call it almost like a spiritual place. And it's hard to keep recreating that every God knows how long. But when you live under the assumption that nobody really cares, and, well, it's not even an assumption, it's like, it's true. Nobody really cares, and that's just how it is. So then you try to shift your behavior.
Right.
So that you can deal with it without feeling,
so you don't go nuts.
You don't feel like you're getting your ass kicked, basically.
Right.
Yeah. But, yeah, there's no buts. It just is.
Yeah.
It just is.
Which isn't great.
No, it's not. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully this is all learning and evolving and for the best always and all that. You know what the good thing about moving all the time is that you make new friends.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have so many friends.
Well, it's nice that there's like the one stability that we do have seems to be like this migrating group of people that kind of
it's like
travel together, you know.
Like a non-palpable space that exists between people.
Yeah.
Which is a cool thought.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's a nice thought. A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we have that a lot of people don't have.
Yes.
That was an interesting thing about the creative space that you talked about.
About it being like a spiritual.
Yeah, that was. That's something everyone's definitely feeling. I'm sure it's different for each person, but you have a good line on that one.
Yeah.
Is that something that just came out, or is that something that you think?
Good, thanks.
No, I always think about that, but I always hesitate before saying it because, like, people don't. I don't know why. Actually, that's something to think about. But you know, I didn't want to make it cheesy or whatever. But it's true. I mean, creative spaces are spiritual spaces, I think, or spaces of ritual or something like that.
And as far as like artist spaces, they're meant to cultivate creativity and that kind of passion and all of those things, right? So those spaces are special.
Yeah.
And they have to be.
And it's hard to cultivate that when you don't feel secure.
Yes, it is. That kind of like adaptation spirit or attitude to it's a really good thing to have, but you do run the risk of burnout, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Burnout, and also, like, you know, you can't suppress emotion. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's impossible. It comes out regardless, right?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, you know how we're always like, oh, let's be, you know, I'm adaptable. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. At a certain point, you're suppressing feelings, and that won't come out. Well, I just don't think it would be so wrong for us to put up a little bit of a fight.
I agree, yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair.
No.
Not fair. It's my mature approach to things. Why do we have to leave?